Hey guys, LootWizard here, another video on Gems of War, and it is that time of the week again. We have all new stuff. We have a new event, Fallen Silent. We have new stuff in the Soulforge, so we're going to go over all this stuff as usual. Let's go to the Soulforge first and check out the weapons here first. There's this weapon called Golden Sun, and I'm not entirely sure if it's a new weapon or not. I might have missed it because obviously I don't own it here. But I thought it was an event weapon, and so when I went to my event page here for this, and usually you go to the shop, I don't see this weapon in the shop at all. So I don't think that it's connected to the event. It's just a weapon that's in here. So now, whether this weapon is good or not, at first I thought it would be, because eliminate all armor is usually something that's always good, but then to gain gold boosted by armor eliminated, I was thinking, wow, this might be a new weapon we can build a gold team around. But when I saw the boost ratio, it's 3 to 1. So, you know, what that means is that a third of the armor that you destroy with the weapon is going to be converted into gold. It might still be useful in some team, but I don't think it's going to be as good with that kind of ratio. You know, you would have to, in order to get the, let's say you had a one Cedric in your team, in order to get the maximum of 200 gold with one hit on this, with this weapon, you would have to destroy 600 armor in order to get that. And you're not going to be seeing that kind of high armor on the enemy unless you're in really high delves, and even then I don't think it gets to 600. So I don't think I'm going to craft it. It costs 300 diamonds. I don't think it's worth it because with that boost ratio, if it was a 2 to 1 ratio, maybe. If it was a 1 to 1 ratio, I would be like, wow, yeah, you know, that might be able to make a really good gold team from that. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So if you guys can figure out how to make a really good gold team with this Golden Sun weapon, post it in the comments. I'll change my opinion on it and maybe I'll craft it. But for now, I'm not crafting it, and I don't recommend crafting it at all. But there is a weapon here that if you don't have is pretty decent for a human team. This weapon is one of those weapons that generates mana based on a type of ally. This is for humans. Orpheus Verse. This weapon is pretty good in some teams, even for delves, because Tesla uses blue mana, and this is going to generate that, and it's considered a human. There's actually 2 human classes in the game, too. I put together a quick little team here that I've used in the past with this weapon. Orpheus Verse here would be in the top spot, and to maximize the mana that it's going to create, what you want to do is equip either the Plague Lord class, because that is considered a human. Right here you can see that. Or the War Priest. I just equipped that one. It doesn't matter. But this is considered a human as well. Now, the War Priest is actually kind of decent because in its traits, it does have a 50% chance to stun a random enemy at the start of your turn and reduces damage from skulls by 40%. But Plague Lord gets, at level 40, it has Rock Solid, so that's also a really good choice. Either one will work with this team because Holy St. Austria is going to make all the humans start with 50% mana. War Priest normally doesn't start with that, but if you have Holy St. Austria in there, it will start with 50% mana. And then these 2 Teslas, this is where your main damage is coming from, because Tesla is actually a really good legendary troop that does true scatter damage boosted by all ally and enemy armor. So this is something that you can scale for delves and different events. So you got these 2 Tesla here. Holy St. Austria is great because it's going to be giving armor to all allies that will increase the Tesla damage because it's boosted by all ally armor as well. And then this weapon up here is going to be generating yellow mana and blue. And yellow is going to go to fill up the St. Austria, and the blue is going to go to Tesla. And then also this is going to enchant all humans. So since the class weapon, the class here is a human, that weapon is going to be enchanted every time you cast St. Austria. So this right here is a really good team to use with this weapon. So if you don't have this weapon yet, you have enough diamonds to spare, then I do suggest crafting that Orpheus verse weapon here. It does cost 300 diamonds and 600 of the red and purple jewels. So that's one reason to save your jewels, even though, as we're going to do right now, even though there are some troops that I do recommend in the Summoning Stone section here, I recommend only a few of them. I think that you should save your jewels as much as possible, because there are weapons like this that come around, like Trickster Shot, Rope Dart. Some of those are must-have weapons. When they do show up in here, you want to make sure you do have enough jewels saved up to craft those. But let's go through the Summoning Stones. For blue, I don't really think there's anything worth trying to get in there. For green, Diviner is a decent mana generation troop, but I don't think it's worth crafting in here, or trying to craft. Egg Thief, however, is one of the most important troops in the game. It will destroy the entire board once you get enough gold. So very fast mana generation. If you don't have Egg Thief for whatever reason, or you just want to ascend it higher, now would be the time to try to get that in the red Summoning Stones. For yellow, I would say that there's one troop here, Scrymir the Lofty. It is a little bit more of a high rarity card, so you might not have it yet. This troop does work pretty good for some events where you're using Mang, especially on like yellow or purple Tower of Doom days. And if you're using Mang, this is a pretty good weapon or a troop to use with that weapon, because it will cleanse, it'll barrier, and give Mang life, and then it will move them to the front of the team. So it'll really help you when you have those troops that switch your front and your back troop. And the Mang is useless unless it's in that top spot. So with Scrymir the Lofty, you will be able to move your hero weapon back up to that top spot. So if you don't have Scrymir the Lofty, you might want to consider trying to get that in the yellow Summoning Stone section. As for purple, we have nothing really good that I would say. For Brown Day here, I mean, Lash is pretty decent, but you should probably have that already. It's a lower rarity. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this is a decent troop here for doing skull damage, but I don't think it's worth wasting jewels on it. So, all right, let's go over to the legendaries and mythics here to craft this week. We have Jarl Firemantle, Garnock, Queen Mab, and Magnus here for legendaries. I don't really recommend crafting those, but if you are, trying to collect them, and you for whatever reason, you have an abundance of diamonds, then I'm going to say probably Queen Mab and Jarl Firemantle are the two legendary troops that are the best this week. As for mythic troops, we have Wulfgarrick, we have the Possessed King, we have King Bloodwood, and Mother of Darkness. Now, so I'm going to go over quickly my opinion on these troops, because I own 3 of these mythics. Out of like the 6 or 8 mythics that I don't own yet, Wulfgarrick is one of them. So I can't really give you a definite it's good or it's trash kind of opinion. But I will say that I just have never really seen it used much, and I don't hear any of the other top gems players like really talking about, like, man, you need to use Wulfgarrick in this team, blah, 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 So I don't think it's really a troop worth crafting. It's probably the least worthy mythic here. Definitely the worst mythic out of the 4, because I do own Mother of Darkness, King Bloodwood, and the Possessed King. So, I mean, right away, I can say the Possessed King is probably your best one to craft this week. After that, I would say I would actually go for Mother of Darkness over King Bloodwood. Even though King Bloodwood is still useful, it has Entangle random enemy on 4 or more gems that you match. It does heavy splash damage to an enemy, boosted by entangled and bleeding enemies. It steals 10 life from all enemies. But I've tried to use King Bloodwood in several teams, and it's for whatever reason, even though it's heavy splash damage, it just doesn't seem to be quite as powerful as I expect it to be. The boost ratio is 8. for every entangled and bleeding enemy you have. So to maximize your damage, you're going to do that if you have even another troop in the team that can bleed and entangle. However, every enemy that you kill, that damage will decrease. So it has diminishing returns on that type of damage. I think it would be, since it does bleed enemies, which bleed is a form of true damage passively. I think this troop would go higher up on my list if this splash damage was true splash damage instead of just heavy splash damage. But because it's got to get through that armor first. Now it is stealing life down here, steal 10 life from all enemies, but I'm pretty sure that is considered an alt damage type. So if the enemy does have submerge, it won't steal that 10 life from them. And the thing that kind of makes me sad is this 10 life is permanent. You can't boost it in any way with magic or through any other means. It's always just going to be a 10 life. So that has diminishing returns too, because if there's only one enemy alive, it's only going to steal 10 life, and that's kind of sad. So King Bloodwood is probably not worth crafting. I think that it's better just to wait until it drops for you. Mother of Darkness, however, I think is a little better than King Bloodwood. For one, it does do true damage. It does that to 2 enemies. It does true damage to an enemy and the enemy below them. And then that's boosted by purple gems. That's a 1-to-1 ratio. So pretty good if you have a purple storm going. There's a team, I should have set it up so I could show it off really quickly, that I use with the Mother of Darkness. Well, actually, this is going to be probably a 30-minute video because we still have the other event to do. But I kind of want to show like a little bit of teams here while I'm doing this. So there was the Orpheus of Loot team. I can change this because defense is over with Guild Wars. So forget that nonsense there. Let me just throw this together really quick. It's actually has the Possessed King in it too. But if we do Thrall and we do, let's just throw all these in here. And then my weapon, we're going to go Essence of Evil. Hey, it's because I'm still on the event, right? What? It's restricting my colors still? That's got to be a bug. Because I'm just in PvP, aren't I? Let's go to... Maybe I should just go to my troops tab here. What's going on? Okay, now it's not restricted. That's weird. So it's restricted in PvP right now? That's got to be a bug. Let me go back and see this. No, it's not. That is weird. How did that happen? I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch my own video here later and see see what the heck happened there. Anyway, so the weapon is Essence of Evil. Now, oh, there it is. It's when I go to the weapon tab. Look at that. That's a bug. Okay, so it shouldn't be doing that in normal PvP. Let's go to troops and see if it does it. There it is. It's a bug. I can't change my let's see if okay. But it has to have one of those other colors. Okay, so I can't even show it now because there's a bug that when you go to the weapons tab, my colors are locked for the event. Okay. Anyway, the team, I'll just show it with these troops, I guess. I would put Thrall in the second spot, and then Essence of Evil in the first spot, and I would use the Plague Lord class, and then the Possessed King at the bottom, Mother of Darkness in the third spot. That was the team I was going to show you guys, and Mother of Darkness works pretty good for that team. But we encountered a bug, so glitch there in the game, and I can't show you that. So anyway, it gives you the idea what the team is. So really quickly here, Possessed King is number 1. It's great. I use it mainly for the passive explosion here, mana generation. That's really what we use it for. Occasionally, you can use it for the damage and transformation, but sometimes the transformation does work against you. It'll transform a weak troop into a more powerful troop. That is possible. It's happened to me before. So you do have to be careful with that. But Possessed King is still number 1. Then I would say number 2 is the Mother of Darkness. 3 is King Bloodwood, and then 4 would be Wolfgarrick. That's what I'm going to go with. Collect my tribute real quick, and then let's go to the shop, take a look at the troop here. Manticore Cub. And we can get Arcane Plane Trait Stones for 300 glory each by purchasing this. So now if you need those Arcane Trait Stones, then now is a good time to spend your glory on that. The art for this card is really cute, I gotta say. Really, really cute. I almost wish that was like on some kind of legendary card, because I probably won't ever use this troop, but really cute art. Charm the first enemy and drain their mana by 3. Okay. Yeah, I probably won't use this troop like ever, because there's other troops that drain mana better than this. And charming the first enemy is kind of dumb, because charm does that troop's attack damage to the troop above it and the troop below it. So if you charm the first enemy, guess what? You're only going to damage the troop below it, because there's no troop above the first troop, first enemy troop. So yeah, that's kind of dumb. Anyway, like the art on the card, we're going to buy enough to get it to Mythic, because I always do that. And just so that I can have it up to Mythic, because that helps power up your kingdoms. The more troops that you have that are at that ascension of Mythic. What the heck weapon is this? Deal 30 damage to an enemy. There's a 50% chance to gain either 20 souls, 100 gold, or a treasure map. That's weird, and I don't like that it's like, or this, or that, or that. You know, you got like, and there's not even a 100% chance to gain 20 souls, or 100 gold, or 1 treasure map. It's just 50%. That's even worse. Okay, it's $5. There's no way I would pay $5 for that merchant's blade. Trash weapon, really. Unless I don't know something there about it, but from what I read, that didn't look like a good weapon at all. So anyway, let's go to the event. First of all, before I do that, let's go here and show you Leonas Empire is the event kingdom for this week. So if you're opening event keys, that is going to be the kingdom that all the troops are going to come from. So really quickly, if we go into that kingdom, we can take a look at what troops we have. And okay, so the mythic troop for this kingdom is Voice of Orpheus, which is a pretty good like support troop, but you know, I wouldn't spend hundreds of event keys trying to get it unless you're collecting. You could get Divine Ishbala, which would be, if you don't have the Divine Ishbala, it's worth spending event keys to get it. So that would be something to go for. Emperor Corvash is a great legendary troop. I would say that's worth spending a few event keys to try to get if you don't have it yet. Other than that, most all the troops in this kingdom are pretty weak. So Divine Ishbala, Emperor Corvash, those are the two I would go for in event keys if you don't have them. Alright, let's go over here to the event. Fallen Silent is the event, and let's go to the shop real quick. So you get tokens here that are these are event tokens, and you will get some here when you purchase this. And make sure you equip your tokens. once you get them. Oh, you can't equip a token, but 3 tokens equals a badge, and you can at least see we're getting a badge here. So we got a badge of songs. I'll take a few more of these. And so we got 3 more there. That's going to be another badge. Yeah, let's go ahead and take another one here. That should get us to a medal. Yep, so now we have a medal of songs. So you have to buy up through tier 4 with your gems in order to get a medal for this season. And that is going to give you the best damage. So let me go in here and just change this really quick to... yeah, let's go medal of songs. And then for the middle one, let's do my medal of Nisha. And I don't need starting mana because we have the potions. So we'll just put a medal of seasons in there for a boost on attack, life, and armor. So, but you definitely want this medal of songs here is going to give you 100%, 160% skull and spell damage for all troops in the current event. A badge will give you some increase, so try to get at least a badge and then equip it. But if you can get a medal, that's going to give you the best damage. So what's going to go on here? There is quite a few rewards in here. You got to work together with your guild, and you do get vault keys, which are great. You do get major orb of growth here, which is really good for low-level players because it basically will level any troop, even a mythic, to full level. And it's basically a replacement for souls. So there's Orb of Chaos you can get here, another orb, 2 Orbs of Chaos there, and finally a major Orb of Chaos, and that's what everybody tries to go for at stage 12. But you got to work together with your guild and get as many points as possible through fighting these different battles. The way that I do it, and I don't know if it's the best way or not with these new events, is I always target the high rarity rooms first and try to get those rooms to come back. So once I do this room, it probably will go off, and then I'll focus on the purple, try to get another orange room. But for this event, our troops are restricted to the Leonas Empire, and we are restricted to the yellow and brown colors. Now this is where that bug was, it's carrying over into the weapon tab for normal PvP. So I hope the devs actually realize that's going on, because we won't be able to select a weapon this week in normal PvP that isn't for those colors, which is going to be kind of weird and very restrictive. I don't think they intended that to happen for normal PvP. Anyway, so the weapons are also restricted to this kingdom. So you have basically, let me do show all. You basically have 4 weapons. If you do choose to craft the Golden Sun, which I don't recommend because it's not doing any damage, it's just going to give you gold. I mean, I guess it is kind of doing damage because it'll eliminate armor, but it's not that great. So the best weapons are probably these 3. This one is great. Pull an enemy to the first position, deal damage, and stun them. Very disruptive. This one will silence an enemy and do damage. That's good. If you don't have those 2, you probably have this one from just leveling up. It's a basic weapon. It will do damage to the first enemy, boosted by some gems removed there. I'm going with the Lion and Tiger weapon, and then Emperor Corvash is my legendary. I have Lion Prince, which is one of the better troops in this kingdom. It'll destroy a row. It deals damage to the first 2 enemies boosted by yellow gems destroyed. It's a 2 boost ratio, nothing crazy, but it will be a little extra added damage. Plus, it's doing a little mana generation there. The Devoted, if you're not using this weapon here, and let's say you're using the Holy Avenger, or Orpheus Discord or something like that, you might want to put the Devoted up there, because this is a pretty good mana generator. It creates 7 gems of a chosen type, so you get to choose, and then it will cleanse all allies and give them armor. So that's a really good support troop. But as far as like the troops that we have available here, it's nothing really amazing. We have Divinish Bala, which I might actually throw that in there. And it does make Divine, Nothing really is divine there, but it does make divine troops 40% starting mana. This is the mythic troop, but it doesn't really do crazy damage. It does do a little bit there, boosted by some mana, and it does give mana and cleanse other troops, but nothing crazy there. If you look at most of these other troops, there's a few little mana generators, and then there's just, well, Manticore is pretty decent for like a disruptor troop, but most of these other troops just really aren't that great. Tigraki is your bounty troop, but it could also be good in this event on higher levels because it's going to do true damage boosted by the enemy armor. For the class, I actually am trying to level up the Corsair class a little bit, and in its trait, it gives me 2 bonus to blue. Since we're using blue with Emperor Corvash, I figured why not. But you can use any hero class that you want for this event, so that is not restricted. So I'm going to take this team in. We'll just do a couple of quick battles with it, and I can talk a little bit more about maybe a few things. And then, yeah, so spell damage and skull damage is increased by the metal in this event. The first event was just skull damage, and then the second one, I believe, was spell damage, and then now they're doing this thing where both skull and spell damage are increased by 160% if you have a metal, which is pretty amazing. Oh, we got a pet battle there, but yeah, so we just got to keep doing these battles, and see, now the orange room went away, so I would focus then on the purple rooms and try to get an orange room back. That's how I do it. I don't know how to maximize the points for this new event, really. I haven't quite figured out completely how it all works. I just focus on, the highest rarity rooms. That's how I do it. But I don't know. There's probably one of you guys have figured this out already, and yeah, feel free to put that information in the comment section on this video if you want, because it'll help other people and it'll even help me try to figure out what the rhyme and reason is here on getting the points. So right now my score is 3 points, and we're supposed to collect Manticore, Cub points, and Temple Treasure points. And we do that by defeating those different rooms and the enemies in them, and then we get a certain amount of points. So that's basically what's going on. So this is basically the team I'm going to start with, but I'll probably move my troops around a little bit. But it gives you guys an idea of what maybe to start with, what troops, and what to do. So, not much really going on there with that. So, yeah, that's about it, I think, for this Soulforge video. I think I covered just about everything that I normally do, so that's it. So, thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you in the next video. Later.